Yesterday, we looked at how to create a simple line chart. I will look at how we created a pie chart in Tableau. In today's training, we'll be looking at how to create other types of visualization in Tableau. But before then, let me recap. Let me go back to what we did yesterday. Let me just do a review of what we did yesterday. So yesterday we talked about the dimension and the measure. Now, for you to be able to do visualization in Tableau, or for you to understand the type of visualization you are doing in Tableau, you must know the meaning of the concept of dimension and measure. You must understand the meaning of that concept, and you must know how the concept works. Now, because what you place on the shell, either the column shell or the row shell on Tableau, will determine the type of visualization that Tableau would use. Now, so the dimension or the measure or dimension is like an input, while your visualization is the output. So whatever you input into Tableau, into Tableau, that is what type of visualization Tableau is going to create. So understanding this concept is very, very important. Now, as I said yesterday, dimension simply means they are categorical in nature. They are descriptive in nature. For instance, categories of products, types of products, colors of products. Now, you can number the colors of product, but they are descriptive in nature. It could be blue, it could be white, it could be red, it could be yellow. Now, that is of a particular product. Now, but the measure simply means the aggregate. It is numerical value. It is quantitative. It is quantitative in nature. While dimension is qualitative in nature. So measure, what are you measuring? Are you measuring the total profit of the company? Are you measuring the total sale? Are you measuring the total expenses? What are you measuring? So that is a measure. Now, in Tableau, the way the measure is being displayed, the type of visualization that is being produced by the measure is different from the type of visualization that is being produced by a dimension. Also, whether a measure could be discrete variable or could be continuous in nature. Also, a dimension could be discrete and also could be continuous in nature. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. Okay, yesterday we looked at how to create a visualization. I also talked about the concept of measure and dimension. I want to do a little bit of recap of that. Now, I have the total victim in the gun violence in US, the gun violence that occurred in US, the total victim, people that were actually victim of that gun violence in each year. I have the total. Now you know that the total is a measure. You know that the total is a measure. Now, when I place it on the row shell, it will give me a bar chart, an aggregate of it. Why? Because it's a continuous variable. Now you can see it's continuous in nature. The moment I change this to a discrete variable, it gives me a table visualization. So yesterday I spoke about the dimension and measure being discrete or continuous in nature. Now you can see this particular dimension. When I change it back to continuous, it gives me a chart. Now, if I want to look at the various locations where those gun violence occurred in US, whether in a school, in an airport, the development I drag and drop at the column is going to give me different bar charts. Each bar chart represents the location where the gun violence occurred in US, in airports, in military, in school, and others. The development I change this variable to a discrete variable, you can see it gives me a table format. And I bring in this location, it will produce a table visualization. So you need to understand the concept of measure and dimension while creating visualization in Tableau. Now, let us look at the other way around. If I change this to continuous variable, now this is a dimension. But when I bring in the date dimension, the date, now the date is either a discrete or a continuous in nature. The date will normally gives you a trend, a line. But when I place the date here, it gives me a line. Now you can see the date at the bottom is giving me this format. That is telling me that this is a discrete measure. Now the first, you can see we have year, quarter, month, day. Also, we have a repetition year, quarter, month, and so on. Now, this upper part represents discrete variable, while this other part represents continuous variable. But when I click on it, it gives me a continuous variable. Now you can see I have a continuous variable here. I have a continuous variable here. You can see what it gave to me. Now, I have a continuous variable at the date. If when I change it to discrete, it will give me something like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, because I've changed that to a discrete. The moment I change this back to continuous variable, and I change this to a discrete, it will give me a shorter line chart. So we have to understand the meaning of this concept of visualization, the concept of dimension and measure in Tableau. Also, yesterday we talked about creating different type of pie chart. Now, in creating a pie chart in Tableau, when you bring out the measure, when I bring out this total measure, I place it here. Now you can see, place total measure displayed on the canvas here, or I bring it, I place it here in the label, it still appears here. The moment I go back and I click on my pie charts, it gives me a circular shape, and I need a distinct, a pie chart is divided into various categories, various segments. Now, I want to use the location where governments occur in US, the airport, in the religious center, and so on. The government, I drop it inside the size. It gives me that I drop this also inside the color. Okay, then you can see what it gives to me. But then when I redo this, instead of dropping it inside the size, I drop it inside the color. It gives me the pie chart. And now I go back to this. I bring in my total victim. Now remember, the total victim is a measure. I want the size. I place it here. You can see what it gives. Now I can repeat it the other way around. I decided to bring total measure first into size. Then I bring the location into column. It will still give me the pie chart. Now you can only understand the concept of dimension and measure. The total victim is a measure, while the location is a dimension. Now, when a pie chart doesn't have axis, either the Y or X axis. So that is what we did yesterday. So understanding the concept of dimension and the concept of measure is very, very important in creating a visualization in Tableau. Now, okay, let me clean this up. Now, if I want to follow the same method to produce a tree map, for instance, I want to produce this tree map now. I want to produce a tree map. What I need to do is I need to bring in my. Okay, let me go with the label first. I bring in the label here. It gives me the tree name. Then let me bring in the column. It will change this to column, gives me various column. The very moment I put the total victim, which is a measure, on the size, it gives me the tree map. Other way around, I can also do it this way. When you are creating a tree map, what the most important thing while creating the tree map is the color max and the size max. So I can decide to fix the color max here. It gives me 3 color, and I need a tree map. This is a total victim. The total victim is a measure. It will give you the size. Now you can see it has already given me different locations where gun violence occurred in US. In airport, in military zone, or that's military center, and each is represented by a column. Now I want the size of each of this. Now it has already given me the rectangular shape. I want the size like this, the size for each of it. Now what am I going to do? I could now bring the measure, I place it inside the size. It gives me the size. Now, all what I have here, I have prior sign. Okay, what I used here, I used those that have prior sign of mental health issue. In other words, those that has a mental health problem before the gun violence incidents in US. I also looked at a situation whereby where these people are given access to gun, do they have access to gun legally? So let us try to do that particular visualization. So now, those that have prior sign of mental health issue, I drag that. You can see that is a dimension. A dimension is categorical in nature. It gives me various classes. I place it in color. It has given me 4 colors. Each color represents, yes, a particular set of people have mental health issue before the gun violence situation. The other is for clear and so on. Now I've gotten that for the color. The next I need the TreeMap, the size for each. So I go to number of prior sign of mental health issue. I have here on my table a dimension whereby it gives me the number of people that have mental health issue before the gun violence situation and people that it was unclear whether they have mental health issue before the gun violence incident and so on. Then when I drag that and drop into size, it gives me my 3 map. Now you can see I have a 3 map for that. Now, if I need this 3 map, I want to see the number. This for prior health sign of mental health issue. Like the data is telling me 66. Now I want to see the label. Those that have prior sign of mental health, because we don't know which is yes, which is no. So I want to see that. I drag the prior sign of mental health issue, I place it on the label. You can see this particular part represents those that have prior sign of mental health issue, while this represents those it is unclear whether they have signs of mental health issue or not. While this represents this portion represents those that has no mental health issue before the gun violence. Now you can see the number for each of them. Now I want to see if each of those people that have yes, they have prior sign of mental health issue before the gun violence incident. Today, the gun that was used in perpetrating such act, was it legal? Do they have legal access to gun? So let us find out. Now I have that here. Those that have weapons obtained legally. I drag and I drop it here in the now. See, I have 2 yes, I have 2 no. So I have to differentiate which one represents those that have access to gun before the gun violence issue in US. Now you can see this particular portion. So let me see what I did here. Now I can see yes, obtain weapon legally, prior sign of mental health issue. So I want to differentiate that. Now I go to now you can see prior sign of mental health issue. I can click any of this label. I click on label here. So when I click on label, I click on that. Now I can say yes, prior sign of mental health issue. I can type here prior signs of mental health issue. Now, okay, that's our prior signs of mental health issue. Sign of mental health issue. So the other one is weapon obtained legally. So I'm going to type weapon obtained legally. Okay, apply and okay. Now you can see Now, you can see the visualization now. You can see this particular part represents those that have prior sign of mental issue. Yes, they have prior sign of mental health issue. And yes, this set of people obtain weapon legally. In other words, 50, 50 50 people obtain weapon legally. They have access to weapon legally that have perpetrated this gun violence. I can decide to change that to percentage. If I want to do that, I go to my number of prior sign of mental health issue and click on that. I go to add quick table calculation. The moment I go to quick table calculation, I go to percentage. The moment I do that, you can see it's giving me 35.46% of people have prior sign of mental health issue before the gun violence in the US. And out of this 35.46%, all these people have access to weapon legally. That is, they were licensed to carry weapon around. So you can see how weak the system is. Now you can see part of the people that have sign of mental health issue. We can see that the 6.38% of the set of people they do not obtain their weapon legally. Why 5.5%? It is unknown whether they obtain their weapon legally or not. So this is how to create a TreeMap in Tableau. So that is how to create a TreeMap. Let's see. Now let's look at other type of visualization. Development journal. Okay, this is a bomb chart. Now, in order to create this type of chart in Tableau, the bubble charts. Now, first and foremost, when I place my mouse pointer on the bubble chart, Tableau is telling me to create this type of chart. I need one dimension, and also I need one measure to create this type of chart in Tableau. So let me go offline. I'm going to send in another link that we can use to continue the class. I'm going offline now. I'll send in another link. I'll send in another link so that we can use and continue the class.